Hello, everyone, and good morning from Canberra, the regular Sunday session, particularly during this COVID-19 pandemic period. We are streaming live so that everybody can tune in wherever they are in order to maximize the benefit of this situation. So thank you for joining us and welcome. Take a couple of moments to find a secure space and try to engender an heartfelt motivation of doing this meditation. This morning's meditation will be slightly different in relevant with the talk I'm giving on the understanding three yanas. So I will lead three short meditation in relation to the three yanas. So it will be more like an analytical meditation. But first of all, I will do the Refuge Prayers in Pali. The Pali is the most Theravada Buddhist countries use their prayers and most of the teachings and texts according to Pali language. So some people even call Theravada Buddhism Pali stream Buddhism. So just to honor that brothers and sisters who have held the Dharma so long, so I'm going to do the refuge prayer in Pali. That's a repetition of the refuge prayer 3 times. So join me in your own way during this refuge prayer. Buddham saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sangham saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Buddham saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tutiyampi Sangham saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranang gacchami. Now we will recite the 4 immeasurable prayers, generating heartfelt loving kindness, and make a vow and renew your vow to always resort to loving kindness as the first of the most important practice in every given situation with people and all living beings, including oneself, to practice loving kindness and tenderness, and that's loving kindness. And then when we deal with difficult situation, when we see the problem and suffering around people, we make a commitment not to react and be judgmental, but practice compassion. So that's the second one. There's practicing compassion. And when you're able to do this too very regularly and consistently, you will have a lot of joyfulness. This is this amazing joy, the small things, small acts, be it that other people's doing or your or whatever, or beautiful nature or whatever, you can always rejoice and increase your internal joy that is not likely to turn into misery as other pleasures are. So joyfulness. And then the equanimity is so that in spite of these practices, we still will fall short of making everyone happy. So when that happens, we should not beat ourselves or blame others or getting attached to some and averse with another and being divisive and very irrational as people can be. But one actually practice letting go and equanimity. So these 4 things are very important affirmation to practice this. Samja damja dawa dande juda dambara juja dunga da dunga juda dawa juja dunga me be dawa da me dawa juja nyere jada nyeda ndawe tanya la ne bara juro may obedience, happiness, and the cause of happiness, may they be free from suffering, and the cause of suffering, may they never from the happiness that knows no suffering, may they dwell equanimity, free from her judgment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings have happiness and a cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they know a powerful happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion, those near and far. So today's meditation will be slightly different, so I will lead you, because I wanted to lead three short meditations, about 10 minutes each, according to the three traditions, Theravada, Maya, and Vajrayana. So first, take a couple of moments to sit upright and correct posture and bring your attention. So in this we will do a analytical meditation on death and the actual physical condition of a dead, dying and dead and then discarded body. That is very famous and very important meditation in Theravada Buddhism as well as in other Buddhism, but Theravada in particular. So this is the purpose of this meditation is to bring on the reality that how inevitably our body will face inevitable death, and then what the body goes through in the actual death, in order to induce strong sense of renunciation and a sense of detachment to our body and this life. So that's the purpose. So first of all, just say your body, you are right now, if you say you are in early 60s or 50s, or some people even die in their mid-20s. So whatever imagine the person who's going to die is lying in bed, almost so that has been told there's only a couple of hours left before the person dies. Just think of the conditioned person lying very helplessly, so showing very pale and weak and very forceful breathing, and surrounded by loved ones, and who majority are there, but some who haven't made it, and yourself as a person who's going to die is now seeing the inevitable. You can see when you can barely breathe and you can barely recognize anyone. You can hear some voices that you can barely recognize, but you can't even say goodbye to them or say thank you or even do anything whatsoever. Whole body is just completely losing its grip, and then you can hear the sobbing and weeping sound of all the loved ones. So think of try to imagine yourself inevitably being in the deathbed for a few moments. Now imagine that only a moment ago your hand was held by people, you can feel their grip. Now that your body you stopped breathing and the temperature has dropped, and then the grip of the hand, there's no touch whatsoever, then your body become completely deceased, and therefore all the luster of the living body has just disappeared. And your nose is sunken, mouth dribbling, and there's no control in what position you will keep your neck. You're completely drooping on one side, and everyone around you have all realized you have died, and then feel the completely lifeless body. That was only a moment ago, a brother or sister or mother to a friend to someone. Now they know you are no more. And so just think of your body becoming so pale and dry and oozing some fluid from your nose and the mouth, and no breath whatsoever. And then everyone in the room has just sort of all has now realized that you have just died. And quickly they bring the nurses and doctors, and who too has pronounced your death. And therefore your body is just covered by a sheet whose face is not even revealable to people because of the severe sign of death that has occurred. So everybody has left, the doors closed, as your body is just waiting there to be soon taken away. Just imagine that this will inevitably happen. Now your body that is completely now dead body with no soul or spirit in this is now treated as a corpse. And now the people from the funeral directors will quickly take your body wrapped in a plastic, and it therefore has been taken away quickly inside a car into the mortuary, and where no family members are nearby. Your body is just completely treated like a bag, like a body in a bag, taken away quickly to the mortuary, where they make preparations for the body to be placed in a coffin. If it wasn't for the mortuary and the freezer in which they're placing the body, otherwise the body, as soon as within hours of the death, the body will start decompose, and the smells and all kinds of fluids are oozing from different parts of the body, discoloration of the body, the eyes are almost drooping out. So just imagine whole bodies become just like a bag of flesh and liquid, uncontrollably oozing and smell. So if it wasn't for the freezer in which they keep, your body would have completely decomposed and decaying and decompose and smell and the color and and all the things that the dead body generates fear, anxiety, that even loved one couldn't dare to come. They have to first make up the face before they can put in the coffin to bring out to the funeral. So they have to remove all your clothes, and they have put some whatever other things they put the body to make up, lying yourself now in the coffin in the back, and with the paint so various things in the face to look a little bit better, but down and the rest of the body is completely covered, because there's no part that is not decaying or rotting, if you like. If it wasn't the kind of various treatment they make, your body has completely become, nobody can come near, because it just stinks and becoming decomposed unimaginably. So just think of that for a while. Now your body that is in the coffin is then brought to the funeral for the ceremony, where it is put in a very outwardly very shiny, expensive coffin, and even very soft silks and all that. The body inside that has no feeling. It's just completely dead corpse body of a dead with in his spirit, and therefore now that everybody is gathering to sing praises and eulogy of you by yourself is a completely physically the body there isn't anything valuable or worthy there, and they're just only moment before they will burn it, incinerate and cremate it in a very hot oven, not because it is good, but because unless they get rid of it very quickly, either in fire or burial, that it's not worth, it could not be kept in the world. It's because it's too dirty, because the whole body has become rotten and dead, and it's a corpse. It's a cause of great danger, infection. So therefore, your body has completely become a combustible piece that's put in a casket, which is just going to be like a tray in which you're going to be baked and incinerated. So when that happens, after the funeral, they put you into the crematorium, put in the oven. Once they turn on the oven, and then just within a couple of minutes, the body is completely incinerated. There's only not even in a half a bowl full of ashes. That's all there is. There's no remains whatsoever. So just think of that. Inevitably, that's what our idea of self and the body inevitably is. So try to arouse strong sense of detachment to the idea of body, beauty, strength, health, all of that as being self, because they are not there to be viewed. It's all become ashes to dust. as a result of yourself being completely cremated, all your clothing, all your furnitures, all your possessions, all your books, all the things that you have worked so hard to save and protect, God as yours, are now treated as a estate of the death. And some family members doesn't even want to have anything to do with it. They want to get rid of it. Others wanted to have it because they're attached to you, and so on. In the end, there is nothing. You are treated like a nobody. However much they love, all your things are now given away or thrown away or given to the charity, or sometimes some of them even become cause of discord between your siblings, because how sentient human beings are so attached to you, and so they want your piano, or they want your rug, or they want your jewelry, or fight over that, and then they become such a great cause of conflict and discord. Instead of making peace, they fight over your ephemeral material possessions. So try to feel very saddened by the consequences of your demise. And no wonder what will happen to the actual spirit or consciousness of yourself after you die. Where will the consciousness be, and what would it see all these things happening? Would it know what's had happened, or would it or not know that it's dead? And so when it sees all these things, how unsettling and troubling it will be. So therefore, it seems so important to renounce the idea of grasping to the self as a body or wealth or fitness or health or anything. They all are, but not anymore. So with this in mind, try to develop strong renunciation to arouse deep felt understanding of no self that is in the body or that's of the body, and so on. Now, during the second meditation, we will do the meditation how to develop bodhicitta, or very strong, heartfelt yearning to promote love and peace and compassion and tolerance to others. So first of all, try to put a very soft feeling and in your heart, a tender and loving feeling towards your mother. Say whether she's a living or deceased. Imagine your mother right in front of you. You know, so if your mother is in her 70s or 60s or 80s, whatever, just try to imagine her sitting right in front of you, And then you try to say, this is my mother, and try to visualize her as clearly as possible, and saying, I am her child, this is my mother, and try to point your attention to engender this deep recognition that she is your mother. She is your biological mother. She's your emotional support. She's one who brought and fed you and brought up. Try to visualize a very kind, loving, generous presence, your kind mother. Just try to focus your attention and say in your mind, this is my mother, and try to keep your attention, just keep saying, this is my mother. Now having your mother right in front of your eyes and attention very clearly now, try to recognize and remember all the kind mothering that she did, such as giving birth to yourself, giving this body, feeding you, washing you, holding you, singing songs to you, teaching you how to speak, and avoiding you from dangers, and bringing you to some nice places, giving everything she has saved for many years that she dare not use for herself, and spend many, countless hours, sleepless hours, so to feed you, to wash you, to comfort you, to play with you, and to bring you to some nice places, and to give you all the she knows, and take you to school, and doing all the things, going on holidays, packing your lunch, sending you to school excursion, and waiting at the school gate to fetch you. So many countless years of selfless gratitude she has bestowed, kindness that she has bestowed upon you. So try to feel the kindness of Mother that you're so indebted to. So remember all the kindness that she has bestowed upon you. Just fix your attention just to feel gratitude by remembering all the things that she has done that is good for you to remember, to engender a very loving and very grateful feeling in your life. As a result of remembering her kindness, now the next meditation is you make a resolve to repay her kindness. What is it that I can do? Because everything I have and I am this far is all due to her kindness. Now she's frail and old and sometimes very, very not so easy in life. She got a lot of physical issues and health issues, emotional issues, feel lonely, and therefore you should feel this is me, that who should repay her kindness, so that all the love and tenderness that she has bestowed to me, it is my filial duty to repay her kindness. So I'm wasting my time, alienating myself. I should do something to repay her kindness through generosity, through doing things, giving time, and to her totally what would make her happy. I will definitely now repay her kindness being, so that I really learn to grow up and focus on doing the loving thing to her and to my mother, who's my own mother, who's kind, who's old, who's frail, who's actually very, very in distressed situations. So make a strong resolve to repay her kindness. With this clear resolve to repay our kindness, now engender a very strong affection, very loving, and very make a commitment to repay our kindness by speaking lovingly, kindly, things that will make her happy, doing small errands that will make her happy, that make it easy for her not to having to do. And so try to scheme and plan and what are the small surprising things that will make her happy, and make a huge attempt to do those things, and be either directly or indirectly or very, very kind of a skillful way, try to learn to make her happy, to bring some smile and joy in her by practicing and resolutely to making a promise to practice, do the loving, say the loving, soft, tender, and look at her with great kindness, be patient with her, and willing to do anything to make her happy, make that strong resolve. as you become very tender and loving and kind and soft towards your mother, and you become more attentive to her needs, then you realize you can't really make her happy because her body is so frail, and you do this that will only bring a little comfort, and then it's painful for her to turn around this way. Or you thought you could take her to a walk, she'd be comfortable, all of a sudden she's exhausted, she want to go back. Then you realize how much in pain she is, then you feel great compassion. But you unconditionally wish to relieve her distress by quickly bring her back, or quickly lifting her, or giving her a bath. Whatever this distress she has, you develop a strong determination to practice compassion selflessly, so that your devotion to relieve her discomfort and loneliness and fear and anxiety or being neglected, all are so much a cause of concern for you. So you develop huge sort of selfless compassion towards her. You can see how much pain everything is for her. Even just to go to the toilet for her, it's a great distress. Just someone having there to take her there and help her through the wheelchair relieves quite a lot of her anguish and fear and helplessness. And you are devoted totally with the combination of loving kindness and compassion. Particularly when she is in distress, you are quickly willing to do to relieve that. So therefore, strong resolve to practice compassion. So you become completely at her disposal, and you yourself is completely in delight and pleasure to be able to relieve some of her suffering. Even you have to stay up late and have to miss your lunch or whatever it is. You don't mind it. You are able to relieve her suffering instead. So try to engender this strong need to practice compassion when you are so loving and kind and close to your mother. With all the great effort of becoming very tender, loving, and compassionate to your mother, you realize that not merely removing her, relieving her some physical discomfort is not sufficient. So, best way to benefit all this mother-like sentient beings are by generating the selfless bodhicitta. So, therefore, have a strong yearning and a very strong urge in your mind that really has strong empathy to reach the Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings who are like this present life's mother. So with that in mind, you resolve and make a vow in your heart, I must reach the state of Buddhahood for the sake of all mother sentient beings. For that, I'll do whatever I can from now until I breathe last. That will be my very, very key and essential focus, is to have altruistic mind and right intention to do things for the benefit of all sentient beings. So with this in mind, try to arouse strong, heartfelt bodhicitta. Now, the third and last meditation is a short Vajrayana meditation that is dissolving. So here we will start with you dissolve yourself instantaneously into emptiness. And out of the emptiness, you instantly become this infinite, loving, and compassionate Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. And you are one phase, two-armed Avalokiteshvara, and from your heart, and imagine in your heart chakra there's a very powerful, bright, white light of compassion radiating, and then this light of compassion from the syllable Shri in the heart chakra radiate the 6 color rays of light. The white color from the syllable Om radiate to everywhere in the world, and particularly the realm of the Devas. That is the indulgent God realm beings, and it therefore relieves all of their wrong views of being the transient realm as a heaven. They're not, and so relieves all of the indulgence and decadence. And then rays of light, green rays of light shine from your heart, reaches to all realms of sentient beings, particularly in a demigod realm where there's a lot of envy and jealousy of other people's wealth and so on. So everyone who's suffering from jealousy, touched by this radiant green soothing light, and then relieves their suffering of envy and jealousy and competitiveness, and then beautiful red rays of light from the seed syllable Ni radiate to the human realm, where there's a lot of sufferings, of fears, of sickness and death, and parting from the loved ones, not getting what they desire, losing what they have, having to do things they don't want to do, and yet they are stuck in these situations. So all the human sufferings, particularly the pandemics, fear of catching the disease, all of that. Imagine these rays of light shining from your heart, touches and relieves all the fears and anxieties. And likewise, green rays, the blue rays of light radiate from your heart and touches the animal realm, where there's a lot of fear of being mauled, killed, and hunted, and being devoured by each other. All the animals constantly running out of fear. Imagine these radiant rays of light goes and touches them and relieves the fear and insecurity. Likewise, rays of light goes from your heart, from the seed syllable me, that to the hungry ghost realm, and then relieve their hunger and thirst and cold and thirsty, and all the sufferings of hunger and thirst wherever they are, particularly in the human realm also. And then last but not least, dark blue rays of light Hung goes to the hell realms. There's a lot of extreme heat and cold and terrible, totally unimaginable sufferings. So all in all, your heart chakra radiates. Yourself is Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, from whose heart feels the sufferings of all sentient beings, and then radiate these compassionate rays, 6-colored compassionate rays of light, which heals and relieves all sentient beings from their temporary sufferings and are established into the state of the Buddha realm. So with this in mind, you meditate while murmuring or chanting. I will chant the 6-syllable Om Mani Padme Hum, and while chanting this, you keep your attention in your heart chakra, feel empathetically the sufferings of all those realms of sentient beings, and keep sending loving, compassionate feelings and bodhicitta in the form of these 6-color rays of light, and that goes to relieve and heal their sufferings wholeheartedly and one-pointedly. So jinje mago gondo go zo zonje je la je tu je jinje ndala chen ze la jan za lo ma ni be me o ma ni Amen. mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani padme Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani padme Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani padme Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani padme Om mani padme hum. 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 Mani padme Om mani padme hum. Gyawan de nyoto da jeren sewan rupjene dowa jigyan maleb de zalanga barajo. Now to conclude this meditation, imagine from your heart all the rays of light around the world absorb into yourself as Avalokiteshvara's lotus feet. The lotus feet dissolve into the body, body into the heart chakra. In heart chakra there's six syllables, Om Mani Padme Hum. They all dissolve into the syllable Re in the middle, and then the seed syllable Re slowly vanish tracelessly, and try to stay in that indescribable and contrived state of meditation.